MicheleMarieDalene here, North American Snow Queen. It is the 21st of November, early in the morning, and I don't usually do early in the morning recordings because usually I'm asleep, but today I couldn't sleep, so I got up early, and I decided that today we're going to talk about what's going on the in the world regarding the events that I discussed on the 24th of July when I said in the video that the United States must default. I explained that there's a problem also with our Congress likes to spend money that they don't have, in that they needed to come up with, they can't come up with a plan because the situation is they're too divided. They created a super committee which was supposed to work on the problem. So what they had done was they had arranged to increase the debt ceiling for the interim time so they could work out the problem. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. The super committee today has planning to release a note that it was a failure and that there was no arrangement worked out for the debt ceiling, which I think is a bit of a sad shame, because it just demonstrates is that just like a person like Abraham Lincoln House, President Lincoln had said, "A house divided amongst itself cannot stand." It demonstrates that very clearly that the people in Congress are too divided to solve the problem. The problem also, in addition to that, was a concept of a super committee consisting of 100 people. While indeed the committee is bipartisan, the issue is that when you have any kind of committee, the bigger the committee not only results in a lot more complexities, but also results in more likeliness that the solution may not satisfy all the participants, and the things could get mired and snarled up in rhetoric. And that's obviously what has happened here. The people of the United States should be aware of the fact is that we have a dysfunctional government that clearly is no better off than Europe at this point. In fact, that's what I wanted to talk to you today also. It's about the European issue and our trade issue with China. Clearly this is not Snow Queen stuff, so we will of course discuss Snow Queen stuff as well near the end. In addition to a couple of interesting points of you to address. Number one is that YouTube has given us more authority to record longer videos than 15 minutes. Unfortunately, the very first video I did, Introduction to North American Snow Queen, because we used a song by Tarja Tarun and I Walk Alone, they want that to only remain on a form that can be viewed on computers and using Flash. So sadly enough, that video is not available anymore on the iPhone. I have done everything I can to find a way to get around that, and let me just be honest when I say to you, the video is a monstrosity. It's long, it's not really my best work by any stretch of the imagination. and but only does demonstrate that there is an issue regarding copyright laws in this country. First of all, is that I also know the same thing is true with another video that used the same song. That the video is only released on the computer version and is not available on the other devices, including video players and everything else in your TV set. So, I think that our copyright laws in this country are very draconian. I'll go into more detail on that in a little bit, but it certainly ties in with what I'm talking about now with the economy, because the United States and China and the European Union are all facing a very serious global recession. Now, the global recession is pretty rough to understand, so let's just break it down into easier to digest chunks. Our country trades with other countries, and the other countries buy our products and they sell their products to us. For a long time, China has been keeping their yuan at an artificially low price, therefore making their Chinese products very popular to American cash-strapped consumers. But the United States, President Obama says that he doesn't want that to continue because he says that it is time that American products are able to compete on fair footing. But China says, well, the problem is that if we agree if we should let our yuan gain value, but you guys don't have any jobs right now, so how are you guys going to be able to afford more expensive Chinese products? I'm going to tell you something. I think that the United States, China, and other Pacific Rim countries need to get a couple things clear. If somebody doesn't start grabbing the oars and stop fiddling with the outboard motor, they're going to go over the fall straight ahead, and they don't have a wish or a prayer. First of all, it's time to realize, like I said before, that the ways of the past are over. We cannot keep going as we are. It's time to insulate each other, ourselves, from the damage that is ensuing. However, that doesn't mean that we should not know what the damage is that's ensuing. Our country depends on negotiations with other countries. We work hard to establish peace treaties and peace accords and other economic plans. But when the same things fail, it's all countries for themselves, and they all have to agree that it's time to do damage control. The United States, with failure of the Super Committee to come up with a budget for 10 years. Never mind this year, we're talking about 10 years. And the European Union's destabilizing situation with Greece, Germany, Portugal, Spain, Ireland, only demonstrates that the problems are getting worse, not better. And of course, China is having its own domestic issues to fix as well. And each of these countries, you ever heard of something called MEAD? Mutual Economic Assured Destruction. It's kind of like MAD, except in this case it's by economics, okay? We're so interconnected economically that when one domino falls, the rest of them fall too. Well, So how do you solve that problem? You stop becoming phenomenal. That's how. And we have to start to focus on getting American jobs here. Stop, working with all these other countries and expecting us to buy cheap Chinese products at the cost of American workers. It's time to basically say America must come first. But if it doesn't come first, then there's going to be a problem. The United States is on the verge of possibly making some positive inroads to recovery, but it's going to take a lot of time, a lot of pain, and a lot of sweat to do it. But if we're willing to accept sacrifices, I think we can do it as a country and survive this. If we're not going to do it, we're going to end up like Italy and Greece. Okay? That's pretty serious. Now, other things to remember and keep in mind is that we can't necessarily depend on a government to make up the best decisions. If a super committee of 50 Democrats and 50 Republicans can't come up with a budget, and then in July, August of this year, the entire House of Representatives and the Senate couldn't come up with a decent budget either, that tells you that we cannot depend on our government to save our asses after they fall into the fire of despair. It's going to be time that we basically take care of ourselves. However, let's not forget that our role in life, and as an octarine, I'm telling you this from an honest opinion, we are to serve and help our fellow man. The ways of the world of the past, the corporate behavior, the greed, the gluttony, the sloth must end. But unfortunately, those days are going to come to an end, like it or not, because 2012, which is related to another topic I've discussed, is also going to become evident that those old ways are going to have to go to the wayside. It's not going to get any better for those who want to cling on to the ways of the old, because those people will unfortunately be swept up with yesterday's garbage, politically, emotionally, and economically. This is a time for new thinking. Mother Asna has decreed it, and I am part of it, and so are many other octarines and many indigos as well. We are here to tell you that we need to work together for the new age that's coming, the fifth age. Now, December 21st, 2012, I will be officially crowned the North American Snow Queen. And it will be at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Or is it Eastern Standard Time? I don't know. They get lost between the two. So just 7 o'clock if you're in the United States, Eastern Time. How about that? You can figure it out from there. Okay? Or 00 hours Universal Coordinated Time is actually when the actual coronation will occur. Everything is being scheduled by UTC, Universal Coordinated Time, only because of there's too many different time zones. Mother Asna has decided to set everything up based by Universal Coordinated Time, which at that time will be December 22nd of 2011, which is actually Yule this year. Astara, which is the end of our season, will be, I believe, on March 22nd of this year of 2012. And so, therefore, between December 21st our time and December or March 21st, 2012, I will be taking job orders. So if you're looking for a certain type of snow event or winter event, I would be more than willing to try to make your dream come true if you are in the North American area, which includes the United States and Canada. So, to do that, why don't you reach me at the following addresses? Let's start with the most obvious. Email. That's B as in boy, ICHELA3 at Yahoo, YAHOO.com, or BICHELA3 at Gmail, GMAIL.com, or is it Google.com? I think it's gmail.com. Or, of course, YouTube, which is, I'm known as Michele4, so BICHELA4 at YouTube.com as well. And now we'll get to deal with the other means of email, or paper mail. Of course, if you send a self-addressed stamped envelope with United States appropriate postage, I will gladly respond to you and give you one of my calling cards. So, here's how you get that. You write to MicheleMarieDalene, that's MicheleMarieDalene, DALENE, 112 Main Street, that's 112 Main, MAIN Street, that's ST period, apartment number 9 in Winstead, WINSTED, the zip, the state is Connecticut, that's good old CT, and of course the zip code is 06098, and that's in the United States of America, on the planet of Earth, located in the solar system in the Milky Way galaxy. As I do know that these videos have the possibility of traveling outside of our solar system, thanks to satellites and other communications, and I'm sure there might be somebody in the near 200-year range or something from by the time the signal hits Alpha Centauri. Maybe they might be interested in what me from a historical point of view, but of course, I don't know if my descendants will be responding to their mail or not. But anyway, I also wanted to also point out to you that for those of you who do have my personal cell phone number, which is on the calling cards that I'm giving out, you can reach me at that number, and I will do my best to hear you clearly, because unfortunately I do have hearing loss, and so therefore if you get frustrated because you can't understand, I can't understand you, please, I recommend email, because then I can read it and I will be able to understand you better. I do not have my I don't have my teletype up for the deaf up yet, my TDD up yet, so we will try to see if I can get that plugged in soon. I keep kind of getting sidetracked on other projects. It's a device, it's used by the deaf and to communicate with other people, using, if they have one themselves, or they use the relay services, they can communicate to the deaf person through the relay. We will try to get that working for you soon. So if you, right now the best way to reach me is through the computer. Now, or of course by paper mail. Lastly, I wanted to tell you is that no, we did not get the situation with eBay resolved clearly in our favor. Despite the fact is that eBay is clearly pointed out in some ways that they are the ones that were in the wrong by intervening in a business matter in the first place. Me and my associate Ed have given up on sales on eBay. We'll still buy on eBay, but we're just not going to do any more sales. It's just not worth the aggravation. Unless John Donahoe decides to step down as CEO and possibly to get a CEO into eBay that is more understanding of the situation from the seller's perspective. It's just not going to work for me as a seller on eBay. It's not worth it. I'm going to be going into the stock market through E-Trade and buying and selling shares of stock, because then I don't have to worry about shipping it. I don't have to worry about taking pictures of stock and stuff like that. And it also let me work on boosting my portfolio. Remember, I told you that each of us is going to prepare for our own selves. The government is not going to do it for you. I still stand behind that, and that's one of the reasons why. Because in 2015, the CBO said that the Social Security disability will be insolvent. Now, disability is not the same as regular Social Security retirement. The Social Security Retirement Fund is operated by your savings. When you pay into it when you are working. And that money is supposedly your money when you retire that you saved into it, so that you can have an honest, peaceful retirement. Like Glenn Beck points out, it's actually in many ways it's a form of a Ponzi scheme, but for all intents and purposes, it's a Ponzi scheme that has existed since the New Deal. So no one's going to go ahead and pick nits about it, because it did work for a long time. But when disability was created after Title IV in 1965, I believe it was, the program clearly had been created as an entitlement program that does not get money from the Social Security system. It's actually funded by a separate congressional act that's administered by Social Security, but it's not Social Security retirement money. That program has been neglected for a long time, because the fact is it is not a very, most people don't understand that they're separate, and that by 2015 they said that all the people on disability will be finding themselves between a rock and a hard place because of the economic funds that they need are not there. Something to think about for many people is the fact is how much we're all interconnected to that program, and that so many people in Congress have an attitude out of sight, out of mind. That of course they're reasonably worried about the retirees, but unfortunately the disabled and the homeless are being badly ignored. Now, let me give you a call out to all you octaries indigos. We have a mission by Mother Asna, Mother God, and of course Father God, Father Yahweh. And we are to be good to our friends and our enemies alike, in that we are to help them to the best of our ability. I would encourage you to help your brothers and sisters. It doesn't matter if they have reached a state of enlightenment or not. If you can help them by giving them a place to sleep and a meal, please do so. That's what Jesus of Nazareth, which was on here as on a mission to spread the word of the Father and the Divine Mother, wanted us to do to help a fellow man, because obviously our government ain't gonna do it anymore. In fact, the homeless population is getting to be out of hand. Occupy Wall Street is being told that they can no longer stay where they are, because technically camping out in the park is not part of freedom of speech. I guess that makes sense. Besides the fact, there's another valid question. You guys have been doing it now for a couple months. Did you guys really change anything? I mean, we've had a talk, but can we make them do the walk? I don't know. Um, the weather forecast for the next few days, as of now, is one of frustration for me. I can't make any heads or tails of what's going on with the weather because it seems like our stock market and it's so volatile. There's no. It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, like one day it's freezing, the next day it's warm, and it's. We were supposedly going to get some snow flurries, and then that got changed to rain, and then they got changed to sunny weather in my area, and then it was like, okay, right now it's not my season. This is autumn. This is not winter yet, so I have no authority to get involved and change the forecast until my season starts, which will be December 21st at 7 p.m. Eastern time here in the United States. So therefore, it's like I have to tough it out. And last but not least is, of course, is that I also want to let you know that, like, I was very happy last year when I was an intern, that my winter's weather had a lot of positive impact on the economy. There was a lot more business coming in, a lot more people had jobs, there was money flowing. It was probably the best economic stimulus package ever created here in the United States. It worked. People had jobs. It was dedicated a year to the polar bear. This year, again, will be another year of the polar bear, so we will try to, again, bolster the economy. And trust me, there was a lot of work to be made. I mean, there was a lot of money being made in snow removal. There was a lot of money being made in, and of course, roof repair. There was money to be made in the ski resorts. There was money to be made in road repairs after all the potholes had to be filled in. And of course, plow work for plowing operators, which again goes in the snow removal. So it really was a very good last winter, and I really believe that economically it would be best to have another one of those again. So I'm going to try to consider that in addition to the needs of the warm weather people who probably wish I didn't exist. It's a job that takes a lot of preparation and planning to do. And do it well. I mean, it takes a lot of sorcery and magic and a lot of prayers to make it work. So I gotta consider that need. Me and Lomi are also very happy with the number of people who have been watching the videos about me and the twin soul with Lomi. Yeah, definitely. And about Lomi, also wanted to tell you is that we also apologize. The video got kind of silly. Well, there's nothing wrong with being silly. It was just people really didn't comment on it. They didn't tell me, Michelle, what they thought. It just said, oh, well, only to watch it. 24 of you did. And the 24 of you who watched it, you would have thought somebody would have wrote, no, it was 24, is it 14? I think it was 14. I think it was 14. I'll just say 14. Right. Okay, 14 of you watched it, and obviously nobody here actually sent a comment in. I kind of wonder why. I got a lot of requests for friendship requests. I certainly have been accepting all of them, but now for all of you who send me the requests, please comment on the videos, okay? It's not going to hurt you anything. I really need to know what you've got to say, okay? It will help me, it will help me, and it will help anybody else who watches. Then we start some dialogue. Now, let me want to say something. First of all, I'm really, really impressed by the fact is that these videos are getting out there. I am also very impressed that people are watching these videos. But like Michelle said, I'm also a little bit unhappy that no one's even taking the time to send a comment or send a mail letter or an email or anything else to Michelle. I haven't seen anything. Me and my love watched the mails, and we've been watching it, and we haven't seen nothing come through. So therefore, I'm asking you, I'm imploring you to please write to us. It won't take us too much time, and we would love to hear from you. Thank you. And I agree, and we really would definitely be more than willing to talk to you in response as well. Now, of course, it's getting light outside. I don't know if it's going to rain or be sunny today, but I will tell you what I'm going to tell you is that now we have the ability to record longer videos on YouTube. I just don't know if the phone can do that directly. But if it can, it would be nice to see if I can get these videos out to you without having to go through a lot of difficulties in trying to make these happen. So, keep your ear to the grindstone and do me a favor and be aware that there's changes coming in the world, and some of them will be, of course, preordained as of 2012 events, climatic issues, and of course, yes, even the economy may be a 2012 event. But for those of you who are octarines and indigos who are looking forward to the fifth age, please do not be disheartened, because there's going to be some positive changes as well. So this will be a great time for you and your families to enjoy what you see around you. So, talk to you later, and I will hope to hear from you soon.